my top 3 tips for July here in Dubai for everything property related. So first of all, I can't believe we've got to halfway through 2025. I don't know about you, but that has gone so fast, and a big heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for following me here on YouTube, subscribing to my channel, and obviously, you know, the connections we've all made since connecting with me here through YouTube. So huge thank you, and I hope that I can be of value always, first and foremost, to you with everything regards to real estate here in Dubai. So where we're going to go first is I'm just going to run through what has been happening in the luxury market, because that's the market that has changed the fastest here in Dubai in the last year. And I've got 3 points I just wanted to highlight. Now, I have written an article on LinkedIn, so you can also go to my LinkedIn, Lucy Parker, and check out that article in full. But just to highlight here on the video, what is happening above the 10 million dirham budget range? Firstly, we have noticed a 10-fold explosion of properties selling over 10 million dirham since 2020, and I've got the exact figure here. So in 2020 there were just 469 properties that sold over 10 million dirham. Last year in 2024, can you believe it, there were 4,670. That is an enormous growth in the upper echelon here of properties. So if you're one of those clients that's looking, then you are with many that are looking for not just the ultra high sort of quality properties, but also the sizes and the locations and the finishes. So let's go into what that signals as well, that just in the first quarter of 2025 alone, we have sold over 1,300 properties that are 10 million dirham or above. And that actually signals a 31% year-on-year rise. So that is 31% more than in 2024 in quarter one. So you can see the change in demographics here and the demand for higher budget properties that offer a lot more. And then what I just want to showcase is also the value and the interest in the off-plan. So off-plan, for those of you who are not familiar, are properties that are under construction. They are being bought from the floor plan. Hence we say the words off-plan, so off the floor plan. So they're on a payment plan. And again, if we look at the 10 million dirham section and above, you will actually see that 69% of all off-plan sales have been in the 10 million dirham plus. So that's very interesting to note. And these have been projects predominantly like the Palm Jebel Ali. So that's the new second palm of the world here in Dubai. That's also projects like Oasis by Emaar, Tilal Al Gaf by Majid Al Futtaim, amongst other projects. Now, what also that signals, which is very important, is that people have a lot more belief in the future of Dubai, in the growth, in the developers' ability to hand over what they say they're going to hand over. So again, that's real comfort levels for you watching these videos here on YouTube. Now, thirdly, I just want to also share that in the sales, villas are outperforming apartments. And I mean, obviously, you know my stance on that. I sell townhouses and villas here and not apartments so much anymore. So, you know, of the 10 million dirham plus budget of all properties sold in 2024, 70%, yes, 70% of the properties were villas. So that's because people are choosing not just location, but they're very much choosing livability, space, custom built, renovated, high quality. So just wanted to showcase with you a little bit more about the luxury sector. Now I'm going to go back to my 3 top tips for what you should be buying here in Dubai in July 2025. And the first one is what I love, which is Jumeirah Golf Estates. So we have just had a launch of Jumeirah Golf Estates, but it's not the one that you all know and love. It is the new phase 2. So it's a brand new golf course with its own Mandarin Oriental hotel coming. We've got the Dulwich College School coming, which is obviously a very famous college and school found in Singapore and the UK. And we have a brand new master plan. So I've still got a couple of properties there, including 4-bedroom houses from just over 7 million dirham. And what's more, that's on a payment plan. So it's ready in 3 years on a payment plan of 80/20. So when we say 80/20 payment plan, what do we mean? So what that means is you're going to be paying 80% over the 3.5 years construction, and at handover you would then pay the 20% to get your key. Or, as many of you like to do, you can then go to the banks and get financing and a mortgage. So remember, banks will not finance you for a property that is not yet finished. So these are off-plan properties. So that is tip number 1. Jumeirah Golf Estates, the second phase. I have a couple of options, so get in touch. We have a new launch coming, so if you're looking at the larger villas, then also get in touch with me, and then we can put you down in the queue for that later on in the year. So second of my top tips would be Emaar South. Now, this is actually where I personally will be investing next. You know that the first property I invested in Tilal Al Ghaf 2 years ago, has almost doubled my money, but it doubled my equity, my return on equity, in just 9 months. So I have my ears and eyes open to the ground, as you know, and I will always bring to you, my clients and my investors and my end users, the very best of the best, and I don't share and I don't sell what I don't believe in. So Emaar South is my second top tip. We have the new 18-hole golf course opening in the next 6 months. We've got the new Emaar Mall that will be opening at Expo in the next 6 months or so. And for those of you that don't know what an Emaar Mall means, so you know, Emaar is one of the largest developers, certainly in the Middle East, and now rising in the top 3 in the world. Okay, so it's a force to be reckoned with. Emaar built all of downtown Dubai. They built Dubai Mall, the largest mall in the world. They built the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest tower. So when you're working with Emaar, when you're buying a property with Emaar, you're buying from the very, very best with zero risk. So Emaar South is a brand new project of townhouses and villas on a golf course, with an 18-hole golf course. But here's the thing, the golf course hasn't opened yet. And so whilst the golf course isn't open, people aren't so aware of it. It's a very new up and coming area. And like any area in Dubai, you make your most money going in. You don't make your money at the end. So with Emaar South going in, I've got a really great deal. I've got a 4-bedroom townhouse, 3.1 million. It is ready right now. You could move in immediately. And you know, will it stay at 3.1 million? Well, of course not. Now, you know, we're not here to forecast what's going to happen in the future. There's no guarantees. None of us have a crystal ball, as I always say to you, my clients. But what I'm anticipating, and I'm looking at this myself as an investor, is that in the next 2 years, those prices will be almost at 5 million dirham. And Emaar South is right near the new world's largest airport, which will have its own metro station. Also in Expo, which is just up the road, you will have the largest World Trade Center in the Middle East region. So the World Trade Center in the DIFC will close down next year, and this will all come out to the Expo area. So then it will trigger more jobs, more movement, more people to live and work down this end of town. So you just want to get in before that happens, okay? Now, the other thing about Emaar South is obviously it's Emaar, and the community is always lovely, really nicely kept, is that it is just, again, another 10-minute drive to the new Palm, so the new Palm Jebel Ali. So it's all coming this way. I have said it so many times to my clients, but this is what you should be watching, and watching closely, and make sure you're not just watching, but taking action as well. So that's my second hot tip. Hot tip number 3 is what I just mentioned. It is the Palm Jebel Ali. So look, if you were looking at the Palm 20 years ago, you missed out, you thought it was going to sink. Oh, of course, that's never going to work. Well, you know, unfortunately, it did work, or fortunately, of course, fortunately it did work, and people have done extremely well. They bought properties from 2 to 4 million dirham, and today, you know, you cannot find even the oldest villa for less than 45 million dirham. So this is the same growth and appreciation that's going to happen on the new Palm Jebel Ali. It is not yet finished, so nobody's living there, nobody can go on. It is literally a construction site. It's an island that's been there, and they're now building on it. And these Palm Jebel Ali villas, they're each and every one of them full beach front. There's only 1,600 of them, okay? And the size of the new Palm will be double the size of the current Palm, but with the same number of villas. So of course, what does that mean? That means there's a lot more area, not more green space, and like larger roads, wider roads. And the other thing about the Palm Jebel Ali, and by the way, I have a separate YouTube video just on the Palm Jebel Ali, but to sum it up here in this video, why I think it's exciting is because there's going to be 3 different entrances and exits off and on the new Palm Jebel Ali. So the current Palm only has 1. That has caused a lot of traffic and congestion, but the new Palm will have 3. That means if you're coming onto the main fronds, on the trunk, that's 1 entrance and exit, but there will not be any hotels along the trunk. You will have to go down different entrances and exits around the crescent to access those hotels and resorts. And so that will keep it sort of quieter with traffic flowing more easily. So on the Palm Jebel Ali, everything is sold out. There's nothing left at launch. So we have resale villas now, but what I love about these is I've got opportunities for you from private owners where the villas on the beachfront are still almost at the original launch price. Yes. So, I've got one right in front of me. I'm just going to literally read the figures that was sold. It's a 6-bedroom mansion. The built up area is 7,798 square foot on a plot or a garden of 7,640. So it's a great size. The original launch price was 19.228 million dirham. And guess what they're selling at now? Not much more, 20.9 million dirham. So that is, 5% markup, if that, which is really, really good. Considering people are going to be making 100% premium, you're very much at the beginning and you haven't missed out. So if you want more details on availing of one of these 1,600 villas and how you too can, get in touch. Now, one more thing just to add to why the Palm Jebel Ali is very exciting is you've got to understand that the future looks very different. 3 years from now, we're going to have driverless cars, we're going to have flying drones, flying helicopters, eVTOLs. The world will be different. We won't necessarily have to drive to the office or drive to a school. Everything's going to be online. A lot of AI is going to be doing things for us. So why do we need to live in the central located areas? And so you want to be the pioneer. I always think like this for my investors and my clients, and thank you to those of you who are choosing to work with me. But you always got to think out of the box, but you've got to think ahead of everybody else, and that makes you the 1% pioneer, and you'll make those appreciations as a result of thinking ahead of the crowd. So let's chat, and I can share with you what we've got. I've also got plots there as well in the new Palm Jebel Ali, so you can actually build your very own house if you want something bespoke. Now, I have a bonus tip, and my bonus tip is actually in the next half hour. I'm actually going out to do a brand new video of a fabulous villa in Arabian Ranches. So Arabian Ranches, as you may or may not know, is it is the oldest villa community that was built for foreigners, and locals, but the first one that we could purchase as non-residents or non-Gulf nationals. So this villa that I'm taking on today is just over 8.7 million dirham in Arabian Ranches. It's a really nice, green, mature community, very, very sought after for families. So if that's something of interest, then also get in touch with me. So at the bottom of this video, you will see a link that says click here to contact Lucy. Click that link, you fill out a little form, and it will come directly to me. It only comes to me. So then once all the questions are answered, please do answer the questions, then you will directly have a message from me, and I'll do a voice message so you know it's really me. And finally, before I go, yes, you might be wondering, why is she wearing a t-shirt, a jumper with Necker Island? Because I had the good fortune to actually go and visit Richard Branson on Necker Island last month. So I'm still very, very hyped up and excited from meeting my all-time hero and mentor in life. I waited 33 years to meet Richard Branson. For those of you that don't know him, he is an incredible business guru, founder, adventurer. He's the founder of Virgin. airlines, Virgin Atlantic, obviously us here in the Middle East, we know Virgin Mobile, but also, there's Virgin Cruises, Virgin Hotels, and he's an all-round extraordinary businessman, billionaire, owns Necker Island, which he bought for couple of $1,000, and it's now worth nearly $200 million. So had the good fortune to spend 4 days learning from Richard as to how to grow business, and that's something I'm very passionate about. So when you're dealing with me, then we're talking about real estate, we're talking about the world and how we can all grow our success and business together. I also did an article on that from what I learned through Richard Branson. I wrote an article on why Dubai should be your first priority and first choice. So thank you so much for watching YouTube, and don't forget, get in touch, press that subscribe button at the top, and I will hear from you very, very soon. Et oui, je parle français, donc si vous avez des questions en français, je peux vous aider. Et si hablo español, entonces si queréis algunas preguntas sobre todo la inmobiliaria aquí en Dubai, estoy lista para ayudaros. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Muchas gracias. Goodbye.